What? A Resident Evil movie that's actually doing Resident Evil? Huh.
Let's talk about that. All right, welcome everybody to A&J Hot Takes. I am Andre.
And I am Joe.
Today we're going to be talking about Resident Evil
Yes.
2026.
I'll be quite honest, this is the one I really wanted to do when you said, yeah, let's start recording.
Yeah, to be fair, I saw the trailer, I got super hyped, and for everybody listening, we decided to do this podcast a while ago. And you can watch our intro video for that, but everything got kind of
convoluted.
Yes, and
life happens, y'all.
Life happens. But now we got to a point where we're like, hey, let's do it. There were a lot of movies coming out. We're excited. And to be fair, Resident Evil is one of those.
Yeah. I mean, this has been a really busy year for video game adaptations. Mario just came out a few months ago. Resident Evil's coming up. Street Fighter is coming to theaters. Mortal Kombat 2, which I recently saw and was pretty badass. Yeah, I'm all down for this. So people are asking, why the hot takes on this? Because Resident Evil has already been turned into a movie. It's had a whole...
several times.
Yes, it had a whole run of movies back in the late 90s, early 2000s. It had a reboot about 3 years ago. It had a failed Netflix series. So what's going on here?
All right. Well, everybody, let's dive into it. Hope you're ready.
So to kind of kick things off, as I already mentioned, why are we revisiting Resident Evil? Why is this a top subject right now based on Zach Krieger's trailer that got released a few weeks ago? And it's because the fan base is not happy. The fan base has been waiting for a true adaptation of the beloved video game, which a lot of people say does not have a great story, but I beg to differ. It's impossible to not make a great story from a video game that takes about, conservatively 20 hours to beat, especially if you want to get all the secrets and endings. There's a lot of mystery, there's a lot of creatures. For those of you that don't know, Resident Evil centers around a corporation called the Umbrella Corporation that does bioengineering, creates viruses that could turn people into bioweapons, resurrect the dead, bring plants to sentient life, basically the stuff of nightmares, right? But yes, as I covered already, the movie franchise came about with Mia Jovovich. The first movie touched upon the video games a bit. The only movie I did like.
Okay,
the rest.
I gotta interrupt real quick. So you talked about that. I need to ask you, out of all, which one's your favorite?
My favorite is just the first one.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
That is the most awesome Resident Evil I've seen so far.
Yes.
Okay. I'm glad we agree with that. If you guys have anything to say about that, post it in your comments, but we won't agree with you.
I'm more than happy to argue. I've only seen the first 3 movies. I know there's about 6 or 7 of them. The studio literally took the source material, ran off, and created an action horror series out of it. Then came the Netflix series, which went too far into the origin path and tried to create this storyline of what led to a post-apocalyptic world where people are living amongst monsters and zombies. Again, that is not what the game's about. Then came out Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, which took about 2.5 games worth of content, crammed it into a 2-hour film with the same characters that people knew, but with different backstories, different attitudes.
Yeah.
It did not work.
Just give it the T virus and get it out.
Right. So what is Zach Krieger doing? Sorry if I'm mispronouncing his name. I've not practiced his name. I'll just call him Zach. Zach's take on Resident Evil, based on the trailer, it feels like the video game. You get this sense of mystery, a sense of needing to survive. Based on what I know, we follow a medical personnel who is transferring a heart into Raccoon City in the midst of the outbreak. He has no idea that there's an outbreak. And he's literally just the average guy, just trying to do his job and facing nightmares he never thought he'd be facing.
So I do want to say something about Zach. I don't know if this is going to change your thoughts on the movie or anything. You said you don't know much about the director, right?
Well, I know enough. I've seen his movie.
Okay, but do you know his knowledge of Resident Evil?
He says he is a gamer. He has a few favorite games in mind, and that's some of the lore that he's falling on in order to bring this movie to life.
So here's the thing. I saw an interview with him. He has only played Resident Evil 4. That's the only game he knows. That's the only knowledge he has. So he did mention that this movie is happening during, I think it's like the first day where the virus escapes.
Right.
So everything is happening together with the first Resident Evil.
Well, technically, the first game happened in the mountains.
Well, yeah.
Outbreak until part 2.
Yeah, it is. Sorry. I didn't mean first game. First movie.
Okay.
So where they have the lockdown, Raccoon City is shut down, everything is going down, right? So this is happening at the same time, and it's happening across just one night. Does that change your mind on what your expectations of this movie, or do you feel that, you know what, maybe that adds to it? Maybe he's gonna bring something to the table.
I don't think so. And much as you mentioned in the Mandalorian episode, I'm a little bit biased because I love the game series. I've not played Outbreak or any of the side stories. I never played Resident Evil 6. But I for one see something. I felt something with this trailer that I had not seen trailers from previous movies. I didn't even have the same feeling, when they announced the Netflix series and I saw that trailer and I was like, but with this trailer alone, I felt like this is
Okay, so don't kill me. And to our audience, I can see you guys adding stuff into the comments. I played a little bit of one of the games. I don't remember which one it was. Resident Evil never was a game that drew me in. However, when I saw the movie, I did get excited about it because zombies is something that I do like, and the story behind it was pretty awesome. So I can definitely say I do not know much about Resident Evil, so if I say something that is wrong, I'm sorry. I apologize to you, Joe. However, one thing that I did notice during the movie, and it is something because I not recently, like last year or this year, but recently I did get to play Resident Evil, and there was something that caught my eye from the trailer, and is progression.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully you guys noticed it during the trailer. But as you're watching the trailer, you see him. He first goes into this house, no weapons. He's unarmed.
Well, he does have a gun.
No, he finds the gun at the house.
In the trailer, they show him walking towards the house, and you could see the outlet of the gun, and he's holding it down.
Oh,
because he doesn't know how to hold it, so he's just holding it away from him.
Well, so yes, so he has a gun.
Yeah.
He starts opening drawers. That's reminiscent of the games. Further in the trailer, he has a shotgun.
Yes.
But key point that they purposely show in the trailer is he opens the shotgun and there are no bullets. Mm-hmm. There are no shells, right? That brought me so into what the game is of trying to find ammo, supplies.
Yes.
And you can see that throughout the movie. It's like he starts with a gun. In the middle, he has a shotgun, and then has, I believe it's an AR.
Some sort of assault rifle.
Yeah.
Towards the end.
Yeah. So you see that. That, just by seeing that, was like, you know what? This might be a good movie. Because he understands the game is you are scavenging.
Mm-hmm.
You are in the middle of this zombie outbreak, but you have to scavenge. It's not that you're going to show up and you have a bazooka. No, right. That's not realistic. At least for the game, right? That is something that I think is going to make this movie amazing. And it might not be for everybody, but people that play the game and go with that mentality of what does it feel like to boot up Resident Evil and play through it. You know the struggle. You know having to hide and find supplies. Know when you're gonna shoot, know when you're not gonna shoot, because maybe you don't have enough ammo.
Right.
So I got that feel from this movie.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I liked about the trailer too. That the sense of progression, that sense of what do you need in order to survive. He is looking for ammo. He is looking for a way to contact the outside surrounding towns or even his girlfriend in the trailer, as you see. I also read that he does take a few jabs at some of the gimmicks that show up in the game. And the game is all about finding the ammo, finding a key to progress to the next section.
Yes.
And Zach says that there is a line that the main character says, and he's like, "What is it with all these locks?" Because he's trying to find
the locked doors.
Yes, he's trying to find the key to unlock this, or he's trying to find the key to lock something in order to save himself from what's waiting for him outside those doors. Right.
So, Joe, since you do have that experience with Resident Evil, something that there were two things that caught my eye. One of them was the bald, white, chubby dude.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's like an enemy in the game. I feel like I would recognize that. I don't think he is from the video games.
A version of him would exist in the games. The closest that I would think of are the infected corpses of warriors. I believe they come out in part 4, and they're just like these big albino type blobs that shoot out spikes, and their head opens up and revealing a bunch of teeth and stuff, and they're very hard to kill. But by that time in the series, you find out that the T virus that generated all these creatures is a stem off of what they call a parasite called Las Plagas, which has the ability to reanimate the dead and turn them into monstrosities and such. And when they put it onto these corpses, it not only brought them back to life, but mutated them in such a way that they're nearly indestructible unless you kill all the parasites in the body.
So do you feel that this is going to be a new enemy character? Do you feel that this is going to be a zombie infected by the virus, or do you think this is something different?
I feel like it's going to be a play off of enemy that gamers will be like, oh yeah, that's almost like so-and-so from the games. But it'll be new enough that when we watch it, we're going to be like, what the hell? How's he going to get past this guy? You know?
Okay. The other one that I noticed was that cabin where you see like several zombies popping out.
Yeah.
Do you think this is gonna be like an abomination and a combination of different zombies to fuse together?
Yes.
Or do you feel that this is gonna be different type of powers to say like these zombies are crazy and they can actually cling to ceilings and stuff, and that's why you see them popping out from the top of the door?
Right. No, I actually did find something on that. And in one of the games, one of the boss creatures is able to mend itself with the body parts of other infected and use them as part of its own body. So I think.
So we're getting a blob.
Yeah, something like that. I believe it was in one of the Outbreak games, but yes, it's going to be something that gamers may feel familiar, but for us watching it, we're going to be like, again, what the hell is it? It's bringing that sense of horror, something that we've never seen to gamers and non-gamers.
So something that I did notice from the trailer is the movie is not leaning too much into the horror aspect. It's leaning more into suspense. You do see glimpses here and there of zombies, and like when they're falling from the rooftop and they explode, you see some blood and stuff, but it's not so much horror. It's that suspense of, what is this and what's coming next. So do you feel that they are going to go that route of being more suspenseful, or do you think they're just gonna go, this was for the trailer, now you're here sitting down watching the movie, here's all the gore, here's all the blood, all the horror stuff? What do you think?
I think they are, because that is what surrounds survival horror, especially in the video games. It's not so much of being trapped in a room with 5 zombies and trying to survive through that. It's more of, you don't know what's around the next corner. You don't know if the door you open is going to be a room full of supplies, or there's another monstrosity that you have to fight. And I'll be quite frank, when you play the games and the monster is revealed, then it's like, okay, now you're in combat mode. But up until then, you're just afraid of like, what am I gonna do that's gonna trigger that next fight? That's gonna trigger that next enemy that comes out and it's gonna scare the hell out of me.
So if I hear you correctly, you're saying they're gonna lean into the
Yes.
suspense.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think that's something that you saw with the last movie, Weapons, where there's a lot of like what's going on and confusion. And yeah, once you got to the end of the movie and things were explained, I've always felt with horror films and thriller films, once the explanation is there, then it removes kind of like the horror element. That's why a lot of these new reboots of slasher films, like the Rob Zombie Halloween, he dove into Mike Myers' past and why he became that way. And you're like, well, that's how my cousin grew up, and he didn't go around killing people.
Yeah, sometimes you don't need to know the full background. It's
Right.
just like, I understand. I'm watching a horror movie. Don't give me a backstory. Just tell me what it is, and I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Just slash somebody in half. I'm good.
Yeah, once you start to explain it, then you lose all credibility of what made it scary.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay. I did see an interview with him, and I'm relying heavy on you for this episode because, like I said, I didn't play much of the game. I did see an interview with him, and he talked about one of the Easter eggs, and that is the green herb.
Yes.
So I know that is famous in Resident Evil, the green herb. What are your expectations of having more Easter eggs that are going to be known to those OG players of Resident Evil? Do you think that we are going to get them? Do you feel like maybe we'll get one or two here and there spread out? What's your hot take on that?
I think we're going to get enough that it's going to be connected to the Resident Evil universe, but not enough where if you don't play the games, you're not going to understand it. I mean, you've already mentioned the shotgun. The shotgun is one of the staples in the game series because it's literally the one thing you could point at the monster and it blows them back a bit. It may not kill them, but at least it packs a punch. So the green herb, I expect to see. They do show keys. Keys are a big thing with these games. I'm hoping that there's a few tricks up the sleeves because there's a lot of like gimmicks in the games where there's puzzles or logic things that you have to talk through. I don't know if that's translated well in the past films, but I think he has a chance to make it work, especially if he uncovers the secret underworld of what Umbrella's been doing in the city.
Do you think we are gonna see Umbrella core stuff, or do you think this is gonna be contained just to? Because I do know he has to travel to Raccoon City. So do you think we're gonna get some of that? Do you think it's just gonna be contained to the story? There's not gonna be a lot of pointing to that. It's just, we know this is Resident Evil. We know what it is.
I'm willing to bet that there's maybe hints at Umbrella that maybe hit the cutting room floor. They want to isolate it to just a standout film. If it's successful, then we'll get a director's cut where they put that stuff in. But if it just is mediocre, then there's no expectation that there's another movie coming out. So I think they're gonna isolate it to just this guy's story and his survival through the monstrosities that just happened to cut out.
Okay. I have to say, I'm not sure if Resident Evil has to be a franchise. Like, let's move on to Resident Evil 2 now with maybe the same characters, building this universe. Do you think this is going to be something contained? It's just one movie, one Resident Evil, or do you think this is going to branch out into, this was maybe a success? Here's Resident Evil 2. Now we're starting to build that franchise.
I'm hoping it does branch out. There's a lack of good horror movies out there, so I'm hoping. We'll just have to wait and see.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I do hope it does turn into a franchise if it does well. Based just on the trailer and what I saw, it does seem interesting. It's not... It is about this video game, but it is its original story.
Right.
And I feel that we do need to get more of that because we have the games, so we have a foundation of what this universe is. Now let's expand on it. Let's talk about those untold stories.
Right.
So I feel that by doing that with this one, it might push it. I know it might alienate some of the hardcore fans because they're not getting a jail. It's fine. Like, I'm good with just having a story within Resident Evil. You might do a cameo maybe here and there, but I think let's leave it contained into its own little bubble.
Yeah.
And just keep it in that universe.
Yeah, we as the fans, or I'm speaking for the fans, we need a little bit of fresh air with this franchise. We need this origin story, especially after past failures, in order to show there is enough potential here. There are a lot of stories that can be told without having to rely on the lore that the games have already built. We need original.
All right. So, watch or not?
I say watch. We need to support this one, guys. And no matter what you think, or else we're gonna get another shitty remake in 2 years' time.
I have to agree with you. I'm gonna say it's definitely a watch. Even if you're not a fan of Resident Evil, the game, if you just like the zombies and that type of movie, I think this is gonna please those fans. So definitely a watch. So A&J Hot Takes,
Watch it.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining in and listening in. Catch you in the next one.
See you guys.
See ya.